And now to the latest job numbers in the country. The Canadian economy lost 2,800 jobs in July, bringing down the employment rate by 0.2%. The unemployment rate remained virtually unchanged at 6.4%. BNN's Paul Bagnell is here now with more on this. And Paul, thanks for joining us. A breakdown on the jobs report, if you don't mind.
Well, it is a softer report, a weaker report, Roger, than economists had been expecting. And broadly speaking, this is emblematic of an economy that's losing steam, that is slowing down. And we're seeing that reflected in the Canadian labor market and in these numbers today. As you've told viewers, the Canadian economy lost 2,800 jobs during the month of July. That's essentially a break-even style number, but it's not what was expected. Economists polled by Bloomberg News expected an increase of 25,000 jobs during the month of July, so much weaker than expected. The rate of unemployment, while it did not tick higher as expected, remained at 6.4%, and that's about a percentage point and a half higher than it was in January of 2023. So the rate of unemployment has traveled higher over that period of time, meaningfully higher. It was also, if you look beneath the headlines, a very different picture for people looking for full-time work versus part-time work, and people looking for private sector jobs versus public sector jobs. Here's the breakdown. 61,600 full-time jobs were added. There were 64,000 part-time jobs lost. So when you do the math, that's where you get that net change of a decline of just under 3,000 jobs. And the ongoing public sector hiring boom continued in July. There were 42,000 public sector jobs added to the Canadian economy during July. That's a real trend that we've seen for a while now, an ongoing boom in public sector hiring by governments around Canada.
Wow, that's a big number for 1 month.
It is, and StatsCan makes the point that over the past year or so, there have been 250,000 public sector jobs added to the Canadian economy. That's something that gets a lot of attention and some criticism from economists who offer their opinions on the state of the Canadian economy and the state of public finances as well. All of this, Roger, for ordinary Canadians, what this plays into is how does it affect, if at all, the Bank of Canada, which is expected which is scheduled, I should say, to make a rate announcement on September the 4th. And this is just more information, Roger, that would support the Bank of Canada cutting its benchmark interest rate again on September the 4th. And that is now widely expected. Economists are almost unanimous in expecting the Bank of Canada to take its rate down. This would be the third rate reduction in this cycle from the Bank of Canada on September the 4th. And economists expect at least 2 more rate cuts later this year after the September rate cut. And that's because, as these numbers show us, the Canadian economy is losing steam and likely needs a bit of support from lower interest rates.
Okay, a lot of people will welcome that. BNN Bloomberg's Paul Bagnell, thank you.
Thanks.